Welcome back to the App Promotion Summit. I'm George Osborne and I've just been joined by Paul West of AdColony. Hi Paul, how are things?
Very well, thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about what AdColony is all about?
Sure, so AdColony is very simple. It's a video delivery advertising network. So we literally show videos for brands or app developers who want to acquire users, and that's what it is. So we show the video ads and we help them acquire users at a great rates.
So what kind of videos are they? Are they going to be kind of epic YouTube style 3-minute long things where you get all of this thing going on, or are they little vines? Is there an optimum length for a video?
It's more of a vine, so we can operate within 15 to 30 seconds. Yeah. And both can work really well, but 30 seconds is kind of the max for kind of holding an audience's attention when you're in an app.
Yeah, I mean 30 seconds isn't a lot of time to actually tell people about what your app's all about, really. I mean, are there any things that developers really need to be thinking about when they're trying to communicate with their app in that 30 seconds? What kind of things do they need to get across?
That's the challenge. So, I mean, 15 seconds is even shorter. So you really need to get across kind of what the app does. Definitely recommended if it's a game to get some gameplay in there. Actual usage of the app is really, really important because when you actually acquire the user, if the user does go through to download the app, they want to know what to expect, otherwise they're not going to be a valuable user for you. So, as you said, content is king, and make sure it's kind of gameplay or footage of actually using the app.
Yeah, so I mean, video advertising, I think it's fair to say that video is becoming more important in the ecosystem, because obviously iOS 8, they're bringing in these little video clips, and Google Play, they've had YouTube integration for a while. Yeah. Why do you think it is that video is so important?
Video is such a great way to kind of showcase your product, right? I mean, it tells a story. It's very it's visual, but it's also kind of, you can hear it. You can have it right in front of you. So there's so many touch points that it reaches the audience with, and you can literally tell the story in such a short window, which you can't do on a static image or a banner quite as effectively.
Yeah, and so I mean, when people are going about choosing their advertising, when people are going to sort of think, I want to spend my ad money in a certain way, or perhaps use a certain format, is it the case that video is performing better than other formats? And if so, are there any reasons why? Is it the similar sort of reasons you've just outlined there?
I think video is a really important part of any kind of acquisition strategy. They all kind of hold their place, but video is really effective. I mean, I used to work as a marketing manager for App Studio, and we found that the users from video acquisition channels like AdColony really were strong because they knew the user knew what they were expecting. Yeah. So from a screenshot, you can't necessarily tell what the app's going to do or exactly what you're actually going to get from it. Yeah. Whereas with the video, when you see it happening, it's like, oh, that's exactly what I expect. Yeah. So you're normally a much more valuable user. So I think video is really important and definitely should be part of everyone's kind of strategy.
No, it sounds like beauty is in the eye of the beholder there, and I think that's a really interesting point. And just as sort of one last little question, you've obviously been at the summit today and you've maybe been seeing some of the talks today. Has there been any talks that have stood out and maybe a piece of advice that maybe has stuck in your mind?
Yeah, so I really enjoyed the talk by Dan from SoundCloud. Okay. I thought that was really important. And also Stefan, who said about localizing your app in 13 different languages, and he listed them. I can't list them now, but I've got them screenshotted. In order to get an Apple App Store feature, that was a real big nugget of gold for me, and I think very important. And that's from Apple as well. That's from the WDC video that they did as well. So that's kind of good, solid information there. So that's important.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for that little tip there, Paul, and it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Cool, thanks, George.